Okay, so what I wanted this training to cover is basically how we can work through these upcoming holidays and still stay within our fitness and health goals. Because yes, the holidays are a great time to be with family, they're a great time to be with friends, they're a great time to be grateful and cherish those around us. But as we know, with the holidays comes Thanksgiving, comes Christmas, comes New Year's, and a lot of family gatherings, a lot of really good, really kind of like treatful food, and also a lot of desserts. Um, and it can be really easy to slip away from our goals. One cookie here leads to another brownie there, leads to you're eating the whole plate of fudge here, leads to just X, Y, and Z total snowball. Before you know it, you've completely fallen off your goals, and you're disappointed with yourself and disappointed with your lack of willpower, or whatever you want to call it, through the holidays, and you're basically starting at square one come New Year. So the point of this is so that we can avoid that. We can still stay on track with our goals, and we don't lose all the progress that we worked all year long for to make in just 2 months, or really just a month. I did make a post about this. The original 5 talking points I want to hit on and kind of go into depth here are: so starting every meal with protein, not restricting yourself, balancing all the treats and the good food with some veggies, some kind of movement every day, and fifth, probably one of the most important, staying hydrated. So let's get into it. First one, starting every meal with protein. So this is a big one for really one major reason. Protein is the most satiating macronutrient, meaning the more protein you eat, the more fuller you will feel, as opposed to eating carbs and fats. So let's take Thanksgiving, for example. Eating a whole plate of turkey is going to be a lot harder than eating an entire plate of mashed potatoes, or eating an entire plate of stuffing, or eating 4 pieces of pie, right? The higher protein meal is always going to fill you up and satiate you more than meals higher in carbohydrates and higher in fats. So if we make sure we are starting every single meal with protein, we're going to make sure we stay satiated longer, and we stay satiated throughout these holidays, throughout these meals. And then we're not, these false hunger cues don't kind of keep coming back to late night cravings, all this stuff. Because if we just snack on and eat mashed potatoes, pie, stuffing, sweet potato casserole, corn casserole, all the different really good, Christmas cookies, all the really good stuff that we look for and cherish this time of year, we're not going to get full. We're just going to keep going back for more, keep going back for more, keep going back for more. And before you know it, it's a really slippery slope. And, you're eating, upwards of 4,000 calories a day of all just carbs and fats. And that's what we want to avoid. So no matter what you're doing, you can still go for the mashed potatoes, go for the cookie, go for all the good foods that you want, but make sure you have some turkey, make sure you have some ham, make sure you have, cook some chicken breast, or cook some lean ground turkey or some fish at the beginning of the week. And make sure you have some protein at every single one of these meals to keep you nice and full, to keep you nice and satiated, to prevent that just all-out binge craving snacking. And that brings us to the second point. Do not restrict yourself. So the past few years, I've kind of gone by the principle of like, Thanksgiving and Christmas are my days of the holiday break. I'm going to be super clean and super dialed in with my macros. And leading up to it, I'm not gonna have a cookie. I'm not gonna have a piece of pie. I'm not gonna have any sweet, any dessert leading up to the days, because I want to be so into with my goals that it basically doesn't matter what I do. It can just go all out binge fest on Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. And as you probably can guess, it didn't work. For the most part, I stayed away from it. But there would be those days where I'd have one cookie. And then once you have one cookie, after not having a cookie and just having the plate just being in your face the entire break, I don't know, even my grandma makes some really killer cutout cookies, and just having a big plate of all the good fudge, the cookies, all the stuff that she breaks out every single Christmas. It's really tempting. It's hard. It's everyone only has a certain amount of willpower, and it's going to break eventually. So as you can guess, it broke every single year. It always does. And then, because I'm restricting myself, one cookie leads to 2, leads to 3, leads to the entire plate being gone, leads to my stomach being destroyed. My gut hates me. In the next few days, I really feel pretty crappy because I just had an all-out binge fest and a bunch of treats. So by not restricting yourself by, whenever the urge comes to have a cookie, to have a piece of fudge, to have a piece of pie, to have some ice cream, to have, wine at dinner, to have, some mashed potatoes and gravy, have some leftover stuffing. Whenever those urges happen and those cravings happen, have it's not a big deal. Having one cookie is not going to break your day. Having one piece of fudge is not going to break your day. Having wine at dinner is not going to break your day. Same thing with all the other foods. But make it a part of a meal. You know, if it's lunchtime or if it's dinner time, be like, you know what? I just had my dinner. I had my protein. I had my veggies. I had a good plate of stuff. I want a cookie. Eat the cookie. It is better to have a little bit here and there throughout the breaks. Because like I said, one cookie in all actuality is not that many calories. Same thing. One piece of fudge is not that many calories. One piece of pie is going to be more, but still, one piece of pie is not going to break you calorie wise. A whole pie will. A whole plate of cookies will. A whole plate of fudge will. And that's kind of the trend that I came into because I was restricting myself. But when we have a little bit each day, when we allow ourselves to satisfy that craving, psychologically, that food is not forbidden. And everyone knows the saying, you want what you can't have. So by allowing ourselves to have those foods when it comes Thanksgiving, when it comes Christmas, when it comes New Year's, you're probably going to find yourself, if you had, that food, once every couple days leading up to it, you're probably going to have one or two and you're going to be fine. You don't really want any more. You're not going to find yourself craving more, wanting to go on all out binge fest on that plate of cookies or on that, entire pie or that entire plate of fudge or, whatever your family makes. So by not restricting yourself, by allowing yourself a little bit each day, that makes those, the big days, the Thanksgiving, the Christmas, the New Year's, that makes, those days a lot easier, a lot more manageable. And it's going to prevent a lot of binge fest in your stomach and your gut is going to thank you for not, engulfing an entire plate of cookies in one day. And also you're going to feel a lot better about yourself because you didn't just, destroy a month of work just from one lapse of, willpower in one moment. And that also comes to our third point, balancing our meals with vegetables. So related to the protein comment, eating foods higher in fiber are going to fill us up because they're higher in volume. Vegetables have very low carbohydrates per their volume. You can eat an entire head of broccoli and probably only eat around 30 to 40 grams of carbs. If you eat an entire plate of rice, that's several hundred grams of carbs. If you eat an entire plate of potatoes, same thing. Entire thing of potatoes and gravy, a lot of calories. But you can eat a lot of vegetables, and you're fine. They're very voluminous, they're very fibrous foods. They're going to fill you up. You're also going to get that nice volume because everyone likes a big plate. You're going to get that nice big plate of food without destroying your calories and without just engulfing tons and tons and thousands of calories. Plus, having a higher fiber diet in a season where you're going to be eating probably more carbohydrates, more processed carbohydrates, more refined carbohydrates than normal with all the treats and all the desserts, your gut and your digestion system is going to thank you for the increase, for having those vegetables, for the increase of the micronutrients and the fibrous foods in your diet just to help everything run smoothly. So balancing the treats with the vegetables, if you have a cookie, then you're going to eat some protein and veggies too. If you want, an extra scoop of mashed potatoes and gravy, you're gonna have some extra protein and veggies too. If you want a piece of pie, you're gonna have some extra protein and veggies. Balancing the veggies, or balancing the treats, so you still get the treat, you still get the cookie, you still get all the things that you love around this time of the year, with the protein and the veggies. One, keep you satiated. You're not going to overindulge on on the sweets, on the treats, because it's really easy to eat a lot of them. Like I said, it's not easy to eat a lot of protein and veggies. There's a reason that people struggle to eat a lot of those, because it fills you up. So by balancing the treats with the protein and veggies, you're still going to get the treats, but you're not going to overindulge. And then that also moves to our next point, which is moving every single day. Now, this does not mean that you need to go to the gym every single day during break. I get it. Traveling makes that hard. Sometimes your gym's not open on, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Sometimes, with family, getting to the gym can be hard because, odds are your parents want you to be there. Odds are the family wants you to be there. And also you probably want to be there. Maybe you don't, but you probably want to spend time with your family. It's, that's what this time of the year is for. But you still should be moving every single day, whether this is a 10 to 20-minute walk or you're going and training for an hour. You just want to be doing something every single day. For one, if you're walking, getting your steps up, that's going to help decrease the cortisol and decrease the inflammation on your body, which is going to happen from the excess of refined foods and refined sugars that you're consuming. Again, it's just that time of the year. It's par for the course. It's fine, but we want to treat our bodies well. We want to do everything we can to lower the amount of stress that we're putting on it through, all the treats, all the sweets, all the desserts, all the lower quality foods that come with with this time of the year. We want to treat our body well and try and combat that with stress lowering activities such as eating protein, eating veggies, walking, training, recovering well. So, and like, making sure our steps are high, making sure we're getting some walking and make sure we're getting some movement in. That way we're going to stay on our fitness goals. We're not going to, lose all of our cardiovascular shape. We're not going to lose all the progress that we made. If we just keep moving, we keep our bodies going, we keep the steps up, we keep the calories burning, we keep the metabolism active and at the level that we've built so hard to get it to. So move every day. It's going to keep your health and fitness goals the priority. You're going to know when you're walking, like, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for my goals. And walking is a great family experience. Try and walk on your phone. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Go on family walks. You're gonna be forced to talk to each other. You're gonna be forced to hang out with each other. You're gonna be forced to have some really good quality time with your family. That odds are maybe they traveled, maybe you traveled. It's what this time of year is about. So you're gonna spend more quality time with family. You're gonna keep your health and fitness goals a priority when you move, and your body's gonna thank you for supporting your metabolism, for lowering stress, and just for supporting a healthier lifestyle. And that brings us to our fifth and last point. Hydrate. Drink water, especially in this kind of season where saltier foods and sweet foods and carbohydrates are super high with all the mashed potatoes and gravy, with the turkey brines, with all the cookies, the pie, the fudge, the treats, the stuffing. Come New Year's when it's all the appetizers, the wings, the buffalo chicken dip, all the cookies and everything, all the stuff that we love. Guess what? They're super high in carbohydrate. They're super high in salt. They're going to dehydrate you really quickly. And so you're going to need to drink more water to make up for that. Water is also going to help decrease inflammation, to help keep your system regular, to help keep a healthy gut throughout this process. And almost half of your cravings are usually because you're just thirsty. So rather than kind of getting these false cravings because you haven't, you had a glass of water at breakfast and then you haven't drinking more than 8 ounces of water for the past 6 hours that day, instead of feeling, man, I'm hungry, you're not hungry, you're just thirsty. So by drinking enough water throughout the day, you're going to eliminate these false cravings, and you're not going to find yourself, when it's 8 o'clock at night, scarfing down an entire, bowl of mashed potatoes and gravies because you think you're hungry when you're really just thirsty. Okay, so those are my 5 main points. Those are my 5 main recommendations that have really helped me kind of get through some holidays before. I've gone on both sides. I've gone on the absolute binge fests, trying to be perfect throughout the holidays, except for those 3 days. It doesn't work. It's also not fun. I used to take some pride in in being the guy who, they'd pass around the cookie plate and I'd be like, nope, I don't want any cookies. Look at me. My willpower is so great. It's not that cool. It's not. It's overrated. Enjoy the cookies. Don't restrict yourself, and then stick to those 5 main principles. Get your protein. Get your veggies. Don't restrict yourself. Move every day, and just please drink water. But if you hit these things throughout the holidays, I promise you'll have a successful holiday season. It'll be way easier to manage. It'll be way easier to manage than the past has been. Your willpower is not going to be as big as a factor as you think it is because you're doing these principles, because you're putting your health and fitness goals as a priority. And you're just gonna be way happier come New Year's because you're not going to have to start over. You're not going to ruin your progress because you follow these principles and you stay true to yourself. So a couple tips with traveling regarding these, because I know my family travels a decent amount during the holidays. So, and traveling really throws a wrench in this stuff because maybe where you're going, they don't they don't prioritize grocery shopping. Maybe they don't have the foods that you normally eat around. Maybe, they don't have like high protein snacks. Maybe they snack on, pretzels and chips and candy and all this stuff. They don't have what you normally eat around you. So tips when traveling, take a water bottle wherever you go. It can be plastic. I just like my metal water bottle. I recommend a metal water bottle. But take a water bottle everywhere you go. That way you're always hydrated. You're never, having to live and die by a water fountain that gets super annoying and super irritating. It's also, water fountains are kind of gross. So go with the metal water bottle, or just a water bottle that you enjoy. Keep it with you everywhere. Always make sure it's filled up. Always make sure you're drinking water, staying hydrated. 2, get some protein and veggie snacks. So if you're going to, say, your aunt and uncle's house and they live in a different state, when you guys go grocery shopping, either hey, can you guys get me, like a veggie tray, or like, some broccoli and peppers, and then you can cut them up and eat those throughout the week. Or, same thing with the veggie tray. That way you just have you have vegetables on hand to balance everything out. And then also protein. I'm not kidding. Last year we went to my aunt and uncle's house. I asked my grandma to buy me 2 rotisserie chickens at the beginning of the week at the grocery store. Because that way I had protein as a snack. I had, did I get a little tired of eating rotisserie chicken by the end of the week? Yeah, it was. It was kind of dry. It was meh. But I had the protein snack. I had, the safe gate to fall back on when I was hungry, so I wasn't subject to whatever we had in the house. Because their goals aren't the same as mine, and that's fine. My goal is to put on a lot of lean muscle and to be, peeled and jack as hell as I possibly can. That's just my goal. That's what I strive for. Most people don't, and that's fine. But when I have the veggies and I had, I had the rotisserie chickens, I also brought my protein powder. So if I, was craving something, if I was hungry, I'd eat, protein, veggies, whether it was chicken and veggies or protein shake and veggies. I had those safe gate snacks to fall back on, rather than, going for the cookie, going for the, the mashed potatoes, going for the chips, going all these different, snacks. That can really lead into crushing a ton of calories when you don't need to. And then, yeah, especially if you're traveling, just, continue to move. Go for a walk every day. Go for a walk with your parents. Go for a walk with your grandparents. Go for a walk with your aunt, uncle. Go for a walk by yourself. Sometimes just some alone time when you're traveling is nice. So those 3 things, when traveling, I found to help a lot. Having those protein and veggie snacks, having your water bottle, make sure you're always hydrated, and just going for walks, to making sure that you're staying moving, you're keeping moving. That'll help you get through traveling. That'll help you get through the holidays overall a lot better, and you'll be thankful for your efforts. So I hope this helped, guys. If you have any questions, you can shoot me a direct message on Messenger. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram. You can post a question in the group. I'm happy that we can hop on. I can send you a link to my calendar. We can hop on a call to discuss something more in depth. I'm always here to help you guys. I'm a resource to you. I hope this video helps to get through these times, so we can fully hop back on the train. We don't lose our progress by New Year's, and we can really crush New Year. If you watched, thank you. If you didn't, I so appreciate you being in the group. Till next week, have a fantastic evening.